Hello, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Train Hard, Recover Smart. I'm your host, Thomas Flanagan. Today, I want to talk about you. Let's start talking about taking care of yourself. How many times have you put other people or other people's needs in front of your own health and wellness? Okay. So today, let's start, and I'm going to give you some good tips on how to start taking care of yourself. Okay, when it comes to your health and your fitness, a positive driven mindset is the key. Okay. So planning your health and fitness. All right. First thing first, you have to define the purpose. What do you want? You want to lose weight? You want to put on some muscle? You just want to look better naked. You got to set a defined purpose on what you actually want to achieve. Okay. Next thing, let's envision some outcomes. Visualize it. What's it going to do for you? How's it going to help you? If you lose that 10 pounds, what's it going to do for your life? Okay. you know First, imagine how much healthier and more energetic you will be once you start working out, eating right, and the fat just starts coming off. Second, think about how good an example you'll be setting for friends, family, wife, kids, anybody else in your life. Well, envisioning those outcomes, it can be great motivational technique. You should take the time to envision the negative ones. Could you see yourself eating fat food on nights where you stay at work late? Could you become belligerent or beleaguered? Sorry, beleaguered by having too many responsibilities on top of your work and your workout goals. Imagine potential negative outcomes in the first step towards developing, everything that you need. All right. Now the next step is identify the limits. If your new goal is the fat loss, chances are chances are you're not quite prepared to run a mile, bench 500 pounds, or perform an intense metabolic circuit. Guess what? It's normal. Okay. Not everybody, when they take that first step, can do all those things. All right. Everybody has limits. For most, the limits are physical. Perhaps your body can't handle the stress of certain types of workouts. Maybe you have an injury that needs attention. Trust me, I understand those. Injuries will play a big part in how I modify and work through, getting the best out of my workouts. But still, other limits are time related. Most of us are busy with jobs, families, and other commitments. Identify what time limits you may have. Take steps to ensure that you are still able to work out and eat right. I did a post on my Instagram about schedule. What I do on the weekends, on Saturday or Sunday, is I sit down and I book out my schedule for the week. I book an appointment with the gym, with a workout. I put what time I'm going to, take the dog on a walk, and I figure out everything. And then, it fills in my day. So, everything is planned out for me. Being prior military, having that structure is awesome. Okay. Leads right into the next step, being organized, take action. Now you identified your purpose, envision your goal and the bad outcomes, identified your time limits. It's time to start taking action. First, to develop an action plan. Much like goals, actions can be short term, long term. Long term actions generally consist of acquiring habits and consistent behaviors. Of course, you must start on a smaller scale. Developing any habit takes the first step. Developing any habit takes the first step. Perhaps you have an action plan in place. Eat healthy to eat healthy. In this case, drinking 8 glasses of water on Tuesday is a concrete action step you must take. Doing it the next day, the day after, and so on will eventually turn into a long-term habit that needs less planning. Okay. And the fifth step is reflect and reevaluate. After you perform all of your preceding steps, you should take some time to reflect on the actions that you've taken and the process that led to them. Were your efforts successful or not? If not, what could you have done differently? So the first thing that we need to do is, when you plan, you need to find your purpose, envision outcomes, both positive and negative, identify any limits, physical, time, organize and take action. Okay. And then reflect and reevaluate. Okay. 5 quick shortcuts. Decide on a goal, write them down. Establish a support system. Keep a food journal. Eat breakfast. Breakfast should be high fiber, high protein, and exercise 3 times a week. Okay. Those are some shortcuts for you. Now, let me get into the 6 level pyramid of goals. Every person in life has a unique set of goals. Most people measure their success by the ability to see these goals through to the completion. Man, having a hard time talking. While certainly have a good idea about what a goal is, many people fail to recognize is the goals can often be grouped together on a basis of how long it will take to achieve them. Okay, so you have, there's, like I said, like we're going over right now, the 6 levels of the pyramid, and how to get there. Okay, the first one is immediate actions. These immediate actions are the bulk of your task, not just health and fitness, but in life. You know what they are. You also know how daunting they seem. Immediate actions are not quite goals. They are, in effect, a simple task to arise every day. For instance, you may have a workout tonight at 6 p.m. Driving to the gym and completing your workout will knock this immediate task off your to-do list. By completing these immediate tasks, you're building on the foundation of success. The best way to do this is reminders, i.e., a day planner, holding yourself accountable, reviewing whether or not you completed tasks in your planner. For me, I just switched over. I use this app. It's called Motion app. It's outstanding. I plug in all my to-dos, everything that I got to do, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. I put it in there, and it links to my Google Calendar. And we'll get into these a little bit later, but just real quick, it links to my Google Calendar, and it then plugs in all my to-do lists for me around my schedule for the day. It adds that extra structure. Okay. Now, short-term goals. This is level 2. So level 1 is immediate actions. Level 2 is short-term goals and projects. If anyone that's trying to lose fat or build muscle should set short-term goals for themselves. These goals might range from completing a 4-week workout program to carrying out a weekly meal plan. Generally, short-term goals should not last longer than a month or 2. Okay. Level 3, responsibility. This level comprises the different categories your short-term goals belong to. These include such things as work, home, finances, family, health commitments. Becoming physically fit is just one part of your responsibilities to your health, and an important part. Of course, being healthy also includes getting yearly healthy checkups, dental appointments, and etc. Understanding that each of your short-term goals is part of something bigger can clear your head, keep you focused on the real reasons you're doing what you're doing on a daily basis. Okay. So now you see how this pyramid's building here. Level 1, immediate actions. 2, short-term goals and projects. Now we just talked about responsibilities. Level 4, 1 to 2 year goals. These goals might be classified as medium-term goals. Do you want to lose 50 pounds or finally look good in a bikini in time for next summer? Chances are you will not be able to accomplish these goals in a matter of a couple of days, weeks, or months. However, setting a realistic timetable for achieving such a goal should keep you working toward it rather than losing sight of it. Okay. Level 5, 3 to 5 year goals. Okay. We've all heard the question asked before. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In all fairness, this question is probably asked so often because it's crucially important. Who you are today most likely is not who you're going to be in 5 years from now. Perhaps 5 years from now, you see yourself getting promoted, buying a new house, or sending kids to college. Such long-term visions require planning and steady execution. Naturally, the same goes for your health and your fitness goals. While your journey may begin with the small, immediate steps before you, you should try to envision yourself in 5 years, what kind of health you would like to have. All right. Level 6, lifetime goals. Each of us has a certain amount of time on earth. Yeah. Every day you wake up, that clock comes down one, right? And it's important to make the most of them. Of course, over the course of your life, you probably want to eventually save up enough to retire, live comfortably. For many people, raising kids, grandchildren is a fundamental part of life. Never neglect your health. When considering the overall course of your life, as you age, it'll be harder and harder to achieve good health if you have not started to make any progress toward the goal. While it may seem a long ways off, remember the action steps you take today, whether they're positive or negative for your health, could have an enormous impact on your life for years to come. Okay. So again, the 6 levels of the pyramid: immediate actions. These are the small little pieces of your daily routine that build on, okay, to help us get to those short-term goals. You know, and then level 2 is your short-term goals. Level 3 is your responsibilities. Level 4 is your 1 to 2 year goals. Level 5 is 3 to 5 years. And then level 6 is your lifetime goal. Okay. Now, when setting goals, we got to be smart about it, right? Yeah. So we have to, with how to set your, okay. So let me back up here. Goal setting, how to set SMART goals. Okay. In the previous sections, we've talked about the goals are one of the most insignificant components of executing a successful plan. Simply put, you must be able to set goals. Yet many people set themselves up for failure by failing to craft goals that can actually be achieved. The point of this goal is not to make a grand statement just to say something that sounds important. The point of the goal is to motivate you to reach specific milestones. Okay. An ambiguous goal yield ambiguous results. The biggest problem most people have when it comes to goal setting is listing out the goals that are hard to measure. If you're reading it or if you're listening to this, chances are you want to burn fat. Well, it's not enough to say you want to burn fat. While it may be correct in the literal sense, it will not motivate you to reach a specific milestone. Your goals should motivate you. Okay. There should be no question. If you're tired, your goal should motivate you to go and work out. One of the primary reasons for setting a goal in the first place is to motivate you to get out and exercise. If you have a goal in place, it makes working out easier because you have an endpoint in mind. Saying that you want to burn fat is not a good goal because it doesn't motivate. Instead, having a goal like dropping a dress or a pant size motivates you because you can keep working hard until you see the tangible result. Okay. The next one, performance-based versus outcome-based versus habit-based. There are 3 types of goals. Outcome-based are important in the general sense. They are the end result you're hoping to achieve after putting in the hard work. Outcome-based goals are goals like dropping a pant size or losing 20 pounds. The goal is attained through a specific outcome. Habit and performance-based goals are much more important to actually process of actually more important in the process of losing weight, and should be your main focus at the beginning. A habit-based goal is a type of goal that leads to doing. For instance, a good goal to have could be, I will get 8 hours of sleep. This type of goal will help you repeat certain positive actions. A performance-based goal involves numbers. This is goals such as I'll bench 150 in 2 weeks. Okay. The goal here is to be able to complete a specific task at a certain level of performance. All right. So now let's get smart. Okay. A SMART goal, specific. I'll work out at 6 p.m. It's specific. I will work out. It's not. Measurable. Okay. I'll bench 150 versus I will lift weights. Obtainable and realistic. I will lose 50 pounds in a year, or I will lose 50 pounds by the end of the week. Okay. Timely. I'll eat healthy dinner tonight versus I'll start eating healthy eventually. Okay. So SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Okay. Setting goals and taking actions. the value of why. Okay. When you are setting your goals and charting your course of action, asking the question why is something most people overlook. Yes, we all want to burn fat, eat healthier, live better lives. However, it can be easy to lose sight of our goals if you have no sense of purpose driving us forward. That is why I recommend always taking the extra moment to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why do I want this? The why. Okay. So here's what asking why does. Creates a definition of success. Okay. If you're going to put time and energy into something, you need to have the purpose without a defined sense of what it means to be successful. People often lose motivation to continue. When you ask why something is important to you, you answer critique creates the criteria by which you judge success. For example, let's say you come up with a goal. I want to lose 5 pounds in a month. By asking yourself why this goal is important to you, you can create a clear, defined reason for pursuing it. Whatever you answer, whatever your answer is, to look better, to drop a dress size, and time for vacation to Maui. Well, if you're going to Maui, please call me. I want to go too. Will be something you can turn to when you question why you're working so hard in the gym. All right. Next thing, narrows focus and gathers resources. Imagine yourself the following goal. I will work out 3 times this week for a half hour. Okay. By asking why you're doing this action, you can begin to think about all the resources that you must put into achieving. Perhaps the answer is that you want to work out, but you don't have much time. Now that you have an answer to your why, you know that time is a precious resource. As such, you can begin to manage your time by organizing it in such a way that gives yourself time to accomplish the goal. Asking why also narrows your focus, especially if it's related to longer term goals. Perhaps your goal is to lose 50 pounds in a year. When you ask why, you focus in on the forces driving the major life change. Perhaps you want to avoid health issues, or you want to look great in time for your wedding, whatever the answer is. Okay. You will have a clear focus moving forward. It's got to motivate you. Lastly, understanding why you're doing what you're doing is a great way to stay motivated. Let's say you have the following action step in place. Drink a glass of water instead of a can of soda whenever you crave soda. Over the course of a week, you may not know what action you're supposed to be taking, but without asking yourself why you are taking the action, you could very well lose motivation to do it. Instead of when you ask why, you create a list of all the resources. You should skip the can of soda. I'm not trying to lose 10 pounds. The sugar and soda will undermine my other diet efforts. I need to stay hydrated for my workout, and so on. Having something to lean on when bad habits and doubt start to creep in can be the difference between being motivated and successful and being apathetic and unsuccessful. All right. So here's a guide to getting things done. How do you take action? It's not always simple, especially when it comes to changing your life and instilling new habits. Typically, getting things done, new things that you aren't used to doing, requires a series of steps from the planning through execution. Step 1, collect information. First, you have to start with a little bit of reconnaissance. Do a self-inventory. What are you currently doing? What are your current behaviors affecting health for better and worse? After establishing certain behaviors need changing, seek out ways to change them. Find an exercise program or a diet guide that works for you. Okay. Step 2, get it off your mind and into a system. Okay. Many people fail to take action on their goals and desires simply because they feel overwhelmed. More likely than not, you have responsibilities going on. You have many responsibilities going on at once right now and have a hard time keeping track of them. There's no need to feel overwhelmed. The best way to get all of your responsibilities off your mind is to organize your thoughts and write them down. Write down what you have to do. List the desired outcome. And Note any next steps to take. It's also important to set up reminders. For example, let's say you want to find time to work out this week. You may struggle to do so because keeping things about everything else you have going on, packing for a business trip, cooking dinner, etc., writing down all the various tasks you have to do, you can begin to put them into a system. All right. Time and place for all things. This is step 3. Now that you have all your major tasks written down, put them into your schedule. Picking specific time of day to work out will make you less likely to worry about it, because you know that it has its own time. It has its own time on your calendar. Organizing your life in such a manner will leave you with a clearer mind to more effectively carrying out all your undertakings. Furthermore, when you have a reminder system in place, you don't have to worry about uncompleted tasks until you get a reminder to do so. Like I said earlier, I use an app called Motion. I put in all my tasks and it puts in my tasks around my schedule, around my in-person clients, around my Zoom calls with clients, around anything. It builds it in. Okay. Which leads into step 4, taking action. Now that you have a system in place and a reminder to perform the task, the last step is just to do it. Okay. Take action. Get off your ass and do the work. Nobody is going to do the work for you. You have to do it yourself. Okay. Every plan. All right. So here we go. Now we're going to get into reminder systems. Every plan, no matter what theory is behind it, exists on a day-to-day particular level. As such, I want to use this space to briefly offer up a few good reminder systems, okay, you can use to make sure that you remember when to take action and what action to take. As I said before, I use Google Calendar. Everything from all the softwares that I use for scheduling and things like that, it all feeds into my Google Calendar. Google Calendar is great. You can set up reminders for 30 minutes before, 2 hours before. In the description for each meal, you can include all your foods you'll be eating. Okay. A day planner. I had one of these at one time. If you're not good with technology, paper day planner is good for, to write things down. Dry erase calendar. Online calendars have more benefits. There's nothing quite like having a large tangible calendar displayed in a prominent place in your home or office. Make sure to place it somewhere that you will be sure to notice it, so as not to wind up ignoring it. Okay. If you have a family, dry erase calendars are good. Everybody can put appointments and things on there, and then you can transfer that over to digital calendar. Another one is, again, I like Motion. Motion did not sponsor this, but again, I like it because I can put in all my tasks and it kind of builds in around my schedule. Okay. Now, while the 4 options I did give you listed are all great in their own ways, it is unnecessary to rely on more than one of them for your daily planning. In fact, having some information stored in one location and another information stored in a different location could wind up being very confusing. I recommend you just choose one, whichever one works best for you, and rely on it as your central database for all your daily tasks and actions. So my central one is my Google Calendar. Again, the software I use to track my clients feeds into my Google Calendar. Motion feeds into my Google Calendar. Okay. So Google Calendar is my central hub. Okay. So I use that one as the one I always go to, but I have 3 or 4 other ones that feed into it. Okay. Now, attitude and social support. It's been said that whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Well, it's perhaps a cliche. It's very, very much true. You can sabotage your own goal of achieving your long-term goal if you approach it with a bad attitude. People who tell themselves how hard losing weight is, or who don't believe that diet and exercise will work for them, usually are quicker to give up whenever they encounter a roadblock. At the same time, a positive attitude can make all the differences. There will undoubtedly be days along your journey when you want to abandon your healthy eating plan and skip your workouts. They may come a time when you step on the scale and find that you haven't lost as much weight as you hoped. Okay. A positive attitude, however, will always keep you moving in the right direction. Believing in yourself. Okay. Is perhaps the single most important thing that you can do. Sure, you have a plan. You have to be willing to work hard and so on. But but you will fail if you tell yourself that you will fail. All right. Social support. You got to have a support system. Okay. To go along with the belief in yourself, it's nearly important to surround yourself with people who will also believe in you. Imagine two scenarios. If one of your friends or loved ones will undermine your efforts to lose weight and make fun of you for trying to improve yourself, probably out of jealousy or spite, and the other, your friends and family support your goals, encourage you to eat healthy and exercise, and maybe even exercise with you when you need a training partner. Now, it may not be impossible to burn your fat and maintain healthy habits in the first situation. It should be clear that it's easier in the second. It has to be suggested that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Think hard about the people you surround yourself with. Do your friends value a healthy lifestyle? Will they encourage your new lifestyle habits? It may be tough, but if it's worth it, you will lose the weight. They then finally find the right support network. Insert network is certainly worthwhile. Okay. If it's not to lose weight, if it's to build muscle, if it's just to move and be healthier, having a good support system is the best. Okay. Now, I had a boss that I worked with at LA Fitness. And whenever we ask potential training clients, do you have a support system? A support system to me is someone who's going to eat the food with you, do workouts with you, okay? Who's going to take the steps needed to help you with your lifestyle change with you, okay? If they're not going to do it with you, then it's a cheerleader. They're going to be on the sideline, clapping their hands, going, yay, 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 let's go, let's go. But they're going to be the ones that are eating that McDonald's burger in front of you or the cake at a party in front of you. Okay. Well, when you can't, or you choose not to. All right. So again, think about that. Support system is the best thing out there. Okay. Especially on the days where you don't feel like doing nothing. They're going to tell you, get your ass to the gym, get to work. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is injury prevention. Trust me, I can write a book on injury prevention and how to work around it. Many times injuries are going to derail us. A famous poet said, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. Don't believe for 1 second that a great workout program alone guarantees success. The success that you experience from any workout plan will be the direct result of your ability to actually carry it out. One of the biggest obstacles that often gets in the way of carrying out said workout plans is injuries. Injuries can derail everything, so take it slow. With that in mind, I want to provide some guidelines for you with injury prevention that will be applicable in almost any situation you find yourself in. Bear in mind, this list is not exhaustive, and you may need to take special precautions depending on the exercise you're performing, i.e. wear a helmet when you ski. All right, get physical. If you're new to exercising, or if you haven't had a checkup in a while, it's important to get a sense of what your body limits are. Getting physical isn't just important for the purpose of exercise, it's important for life in general. Perhaps you have high blood pressure or previously undergone undiagnosed heart condition. It's paramount that you know this before you begin a vigorous exercise. While you might think it would be demoralizing to know your limits before beginning a program, just imagine how much worse it could be to suffer a major setback while diving in head first when your body isn't ready. Okay. Avoid doing too much too soon. I don't know how many times I tell people, the first week of a new program, we're going to go a little lighter just so you can get a feel of the program. And then we'll just build off of that. Okay. Start off slow. I mean, don't go in the gym and do what I call an ego lift and try to squat 400 pounds when you haven't been in the gym for the last 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years or 3 decades, whatever. Okay. Start off slow, go a little lighter. Okay. Stay hydrated. I don't know how many times I got to say this to clients. Drink water. Okay. Throughout the day, especially before exercising, be sure to drink enough water. Okay. The fact of the matter is that when you're dehydrated, it affects your physical performance, breathing, heart rate, blood pressure. In fact, there's a risk for fainting, passing out, or even worse. Okay. Rule of thumb that I go by is if you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water. So half your body weight in ounces of water a day. Okay. If you're going to work out that day, I'd add on another 16 ounces of water. Okay. The next thing is do a proper warm up. Okay. You can go a long way to preparing your body for whatever workout you're doing that day. Okay. Well, you will find more information on proper warm ups in a section of topic. Here's 8 general warm up basics: soft tissue work, corrective stretching specific to an individual and or activity, dynamic mobility drills, muscle activation drills, balance and coordination, practice exercises, new exercises, activity for specific drills. Okay. What those are is like soft tissue, foam roll, corrective. If you go to a gym and they offer you to go through an assessment, take it, because the personal trainer giving it to you is going to give you an idea of where your muscle imbalances are. So I would do that. Mobility drills, you can do those, muscle activation drills, balance, coordination, single leg, practice exercises. If you're doing bench press, do some push-ups or do the bench at a lighter weight. If you're doing new exercises, start off a little bit lower in the weight. Rest and recovery. It's very possible to train too much, too hard for too long. You can't ignore when your exercise program calls for a certain amount of rest time between sets. It's also imperative that you take days off. You should not be training all out every day, 7 days a week. Not only will you probably get burned out and bored, but you'll significantly raise the likelihood of injuring yourself. So with this here, there's different rules. Different trainers have different rules. For me, if it's a rep count of 5 and below, we're taking about 2 minutes in between sets. If it's from 6 to 10, we're taking about a minute or about 90 seconds. If maybe from 8 to 12 or 10 to 15, you're going to take about 45 seconds. Anything over 15, you're probably going to only take about a 30-second rest. Okay. Next thing, dress appropriately. If you're going to run, don't wear flip-flops. Okay. Get the correct clothes to wear, correct shoes. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about some eating advice. Consistency is key. Make one healthy change per week. Okay. Lifelong health is a marathon, not a sprint. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight, but it's wise to take steps every week to get better. Okay. Shopping. Make a list, stick to the list. Don't vary from the list. Okay. If you go into a store, all the good stuff is on the outside of the store, all the bad shit's up and down the aisles. If you don't believe me, walk a store. Produce, deli, meats, dairy, all's on the outside of the store. Okay. Planning cooking. At the beginning of every week, you should plan out meals. This way you will know what to buy at the grocery store and be less tempted to slip into bad habits. It's much easier to skip out on fast food, if you know what's going on the menu on any given day. Usually, I'll do all my meal prep on Sundays. I'll either prep the whole week, depending on how busy my week is, or maybe I'll just prep 3 days, whatever. If you can find yourself a coach that can give you meal plans, get him, because he'll provide a grocery list for you. So it's already done for you, less that you have to think about. Okay. I said this before, water everywhere. Drink water. Okay. If you're going to take a long car trip, bring a water bottle along for the ride to stay hydrated. You should drink water consistently throughout the day. Perhaps the healthiest tip I can offer you would be to try substituting water anytime you're having a craving for a soft drink. Next thing is write it down. Keep a food log. Okay. Will keep you on track and accountable. Without one, it's easy to forget about deviations from healthy eating you make each day. If you keep a written record of what you eat, you can actually assess your habits and come up with ways to eat better. You can do a food journal. You can use MyFitnessPal. There's plenty of apps out there to help track your food. Okay. One thing I would recommend is go to the store and buy a scale to weigh your food if you're not used to portion control. Okay. If you want to know how much you're eating, I would buy a small little scale to help you out in the beginning. All right. Sleep. We all need it. It's when your body does most of its work is during the sleep cycle. Okay. It's when consistently, sleep is consistently shown that while sleeping, growth hormone production increases. If you get adequate amount of sleep, your body will take advantage of all the training you have been doing. All right. Miss sleep and you'll lose out on the great benefit. Sleep plays such pivotal role in repairing and building muscles that some trainers have said that the body doesn't get better in the gym, it gets better, the body doesn't get better in the gym, it gets better in bed. Overall, there have been several studies performed on athletes to show that sleep both helps people maintain healthy weight and even perform better at physical tasks. Now that you know the powerful influence of sleep has on hormones, metabolism, and making the body leaner and more muscular, I recommend 7 to 9 hours every night. I use my Apple Watch to help track my sleep cycles, and I look over it and I can tell when I train too hard because my sleep's not good, and I can train when when my sleep's not good, I don't do well in the gym. Okay, so 7 to 9 hours a night. Again, even on my calendar, my Motion app, I have a digital detox that I already set in there for about an hour before I go to bed. This way here, my mind can shut off and I can get some quality sleep. Hold yourself accountable. A weekly review. At the end of every week, you should designate a small amount of time to review your progress. This could be as little as a half hour or as long as an hour, however long it takes. The weekly review will provide you with the invaluable insight into your patterns of behavior and give you an opportunity to shore up some weaknesses. Now, if you've taken anything away from today's podcast, you should know that how important it is to write. So far, I've told you to write down your goals, write down your action steps, write down your workouts, and keep a food log. Rest assured, with a steady weekly review, all this writing will not be in vain. All right. During a review, you must look over everything you've written. Did you work out at this designated times? Did you achieve all your daily and weekly goals? Have you been eating healthy? It's easy to overlook your missteps if you have no set time, place where you actually review what you've done over the course of a given week. A weekly review holds you accountable to yourself. However, do not interpret failure to reach your goals or complete an action step as the end of the world. It's not. In fact, understanding that you will make mistakes and then identify those mistakes is the only way to become consistent. As a result, a thoughtful weekly review process will help you improve your life beyond all measures. Okay. So again, today we talked about taking care of yourself and how to prioritize your health without giving up anything else that you're doing in life. It's all about getting organized, writing down, making a schedule for yourself. Okay. Being accountable. Being accountable to yourself can be hard. That's why if you listen to this entire podcast, I am offering up my coaching to you. If you want somebody to help you with developing all the lifestyle habits that you need, help you with the nutrition piece, with the meal planning, even just macro tracking, help you with everything. If you listen to this full podcast, all right, then shoot me a message on my Instagram at Coach Tom Fitness. Okay, shoot me a message on Instagram and my Instagram handle is at Coach Tom Fitness. Message me podcast, and I will give you 15% off my custom training program. Okay, that's my custom training program is a 12-week program. You get everything you need to get you going to reach those goals. I will hold you accountable. I will help you with your food. I will give you the workouts that you need. I will help you with everything. Okay. So again, DM me on Instagram, and my Instagram handle is at Coach Tom Fitness. I will put this in the description of the podcast, and send me a message that says podcast, and I will give you 15% off my custom training program. All right, guys. This has been a great episode about taking care of yourself on the Train Hard, Recover Smart podcast. And on to the next one. As always, be better than you were yesterday.